Welcome to the acclaimed podcast, The Deep Dive, featuring your esteemed hosts, Andy Monitor and Drew Dinzik, powered by BetSperts.
Welcome to The Deep Dive. Pretty amazing day of football today, Andy, this morning especially. My week is still in the balance. I don't know if I'm going to end up with a red figure or a black figure just yet. I still need to see a couple of things shake out here as we round out the weekend. Did you have a good Christmas holiday?
Yeah, shit, yeah. It was a lot of fun. Everything was, I think everything was hunky-dory. We didn't get a bunch of snow. Like, the kids got snow. They wanted snow. So they got like an inch or two, which is fine. You don't have to clean up much, but I didn't get a big blizzard. We haven't had that yet. Everybody got what they wanted. I got a bunch of liquor. I'm detoxing today. You can see I've got some kombucha. I put some Gatorade through me. I'm feeling a little better now. The Rams kind of pissed me off with their performance. But,
yeah. We'll get to that.
Yeah, Steelers second half was fun. The Browns doing what the Browns do is pretty funny. And, a couple of those totals were just no doubt one way or the other this week. So it was a fun week overall.
Yeah, awesome. Well, we got 1 week left. 1 week of football left.
Goofy week.
Yeah, and we enter a new year coming up on the end of 2020. And there's some pretty exciting stuff going on at deepdivemedia.co, powered by BetSperts. We have interesting little news for folks, right?
Yes, we have for years have said no to some bad sponsorships. Like, I feel bad if anybody who's like pitched us a sponsorship is watching this, I guess. I don't know. It was always intermediates, but we have always tried to maintain some semblance of, we would like to actually have some sponsors that are maybe in the legal space, or, I mean, at least like ball raisers or something cool. So we are now sponsored, and BetSperts, not just us, but BetSperts, so Brown Bag Bets, BetSperts, the Deep Dive, the whole family. We are now in a partnership with WynnBET. If you're familiar with the Wynn Encore in Vegas, there's an Encore in Boston, beautiful hotel. They now have gotten into the mobile betting space. So
wow,
our New Jersey and Colorado listeners, we have an offer. Look at this. We have a thing right in the video description on YouTube. There's some links. You go there, just like a $500 free bet. If you bet this, it's just a risk-free bet on your first one. You don't have to bet $500. It's just up to that much. So if you lose your first one, you get it right back and get a redo on that. So it's like a do-over. It's like your first wife. You just get a do-over on that. So links, obviously, like I said, in the YouTube thing, it is only, Patrick had his 40th at the Wynn. He partially sponsored this. I've spent a lot of money at the Wynn, so they're just getting me back on this. It's only a one-time rollover too, so we did kind of check into this, make sure none of it is real.
Let me ask you a couple questions real quick. So WynnBET is an app, basically?
Yes. Yep. Phone app. I'm going to have some screenshots of it later. I know some people have already tried it.
Okay.
And sidebar, as a thank you, if you do sign up and you use our links and support the podcast, the whole shebang here, boom, merchandise. Never before seen merchandise. I feel like
you can't buy this, right?
You cannot. Hey, ask me to buy this.
I have to go to Colorado myself? I will. I'll drive out to Colorado this weekend.
You cannot buy this. I will tell you to get out of town. You can't do it. These are only available, and it sucks. I know it's only Colorado and New Jersey, but I guarantee every time we have a sponsor or this sponsor and it hits a new state, because Michigan is not too far behind, we will get you this hoodie. These hoodies are, yes, soft. I know I have one, not with the Deep Dive logo, but I have this brand because we put some stuff in these before. So we will send you this. All you have to do is sign up, use our link. You don't have to deposit $500, just $25 or more. Make a bet, send us the screenshot to the Deep Dive Pod, BetSperts, or just email us. So I'll put all this stuff up on we'll have some links and stuff on Twitter too to check out. So if you have any questions, DM us, hit us up, whatever. Pretty excited about this partnership. And let's get into the week.
I love it, man. All right. Well, don't really want to comment too much on what's happening live, but we'll get to both of these games. It's total insanity. We're going to suffer as ridiculous a bad beat on this Philly Cowboys over as it was a ridiculous cover for the Miami Raiders over last night, I suppose. This is how this goes. Some wild totals overall last week. One of the more improbable unders came home in that Tampa Bay game yesterday. I'm sure you saw that. That thing landing at 54 was insane when it had 54 points with halfway through the third quarter. And yeah, similarly, we were at 47 here halfway through the third quarter. And, a couple of red zone executions for the Cowboys away from having a comfortable rocking chair over here. So we'll see how this plays out. But there was good news today. There was some positive news this weekend.
I did miss one thing too. Super Bowl. Do it by the Super Bowl, you get a sweatshirt.
Oh,
and
okay.
I might extend it. I don't know. A lot of things going on in my head. You never know.
A lot of good reasons to go to Colorado then for me. I'm excited.
Yeah, just travel.
I'm gonna head out there. I'm gonna get involved with the WynnBET. The WynnBET. I can't wait to download the app and really kind of get a feel for this thing. I hope it's a solid product. I'm sure everything the Wynn does is. So I'm sure it's going to be quite cool.
I've played around with it. It's pretty neat.
Excellent. So the
we had Friday football. You guys joined us at halftime. That game was an absolute shit show as far as defenses. Not a lot to say there. Minnesota's linebacking core was basically Drew, me, and two other guys from the YMCA.
They were bad.
Game got out of hand. At least we got Garbage Time Kirk to get us the halftime bet. The Tampa game was similar as far as getting out of hand, mostly on one side. So it's some of these early games there wasn't much to say on. I don't know, what else do you have to say on the Friday games? Or do you
the New Orleans Saints needed a big performance like that, and they played the right defense, I guess, or the right defense, I guess. It will give Minnesota some credit for taking the field with 11 players for most snaps, right? But it was a one-way traffic. 6 touchdowns from Alvin Kamara was wild. A lot of fantasy championships decided before we even got to
receiving props,
which is weird. Oh, you did? Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I remember
right guy, wrong way.
Yeah. Oh, delayed game penalty for them. Yuck. Bad beat going on live here. Well, the New Orleans doesn't change their playoff seeding much. They lock into 2 effectively with this win. And I don't think they realistically have a shot at the one that probably is Green Bay's to lose. Even if Green Bay loses tonight in the snow, which is going to be a very fun game to watch, Green Bay holds the direct head-to-head tiebreaker over them, having beaten them week 4. So Green Bay 1, New Orleans 2. New Orleans looked a lot friskier than they did against the Chiefs offensively. Obviously 52 points notwithstanding. Drew Brees had some moments where he looked like he was finding a little bit of comfort out there, and just the fact that everybody played up on offense was pretty telltale. They're going to be a tough out in the playoffs. Our New Orleans NFC futures are a little brighter today than they were coming into this weekend, I have to say. Defense didn't play great, but that's okay. They played fine in the second half. DPI. Dallas is going to get at least a field goal now. Although we are out of timeouts for Philadelphia.
On the other side of the 2-minute warning, you can't kneel this. You need to get a stop.
You need to get a stop.
And it can't be like 4th and 1 where they'd go for it. A lot going
so what
on.
we need is I know, man. I wish we didn't have these in the balance when we were recording live, but that's okay. Sorry. The Friday games, Tampa Bay was, again, we talked about them a little bit. They were going up against a team without a coach. Wow, look at the snow coming down in Green Bay. That looks fucking great, dude. That looks great. I can't wait. I cannot wait. The Tampa Bay one-way action there. Detroit's only points were scored by a special teams return kick. Stafford gets injured early. Chase Daniels was awful. They're playing Chase Daniels, big boy backup money, and he's not good enough to.
Gabbert was in with like 11 minutes left in the third.
No, I think he took the first snap. He took the first snap.
I didn't catch it out of halftime. Okay, so he actually came out of half. Wow,
he played a full half of football. Yeah.
That's how that game went. So
Tom Brady is. I can't wait to see where they put the Tampa Bay game on the calendar because Tom Brady plays one way during the day and a very different way at night. Going back through his last couple of primetime games, it's going to be very interesting to see if they put them in the night spot against your Dallas Cowboys, NFC East champions.
Are we doing circadian rhythm stuff?
I don't know what's wrong with them. I just can tell you that go back and take a gander at some of Tom Brady's night performances in the last, 18 months. I think the last time he covered at night was opening week last year against the Steelers. Since then, it's been bad. Anyway, Tampa Bay, 5 seed, pretty clearly. They're going to draw the NFC East champion, who we still have no freaking clue who it is.
We'll get into that because that is starting to become a little more clear. There will be 3 teams that are still live when heading into week 17.
Yep.
The prime game that I watched on my Kindle Fire, I didn't have any like action Saturday really, so it didn't wasn't all that excited about anything. But I mean, did you have anything on that one?
I did. I had Cardinals. And it was not great. Yeah, no. Cardinals played a very poor game. Their offense looked listless. They were sluggish. They were imprecise. They were poor in the red zone again. We've seen this from them now a lot. This is starting to become a thing. And honestly, I think with Chicago winning so comfortably today, Chicago is now winning their in over Arizona for the 7th spot. Is that correct? We're going to have to review this, but that was a very costly loss for Arizona. They got the Rams week 17. Both of those teams desperately needed a win
The Bears control their destiny, I believe.
Yes, they do. That's true. Wow, my goodness. Chicago Bears. How about that? They get Green Bay, though, so it's not like Green Bay is just going to, pull everybody. Or maybe they will. I don't know.
It depends how tonight goes. It might be.
It depends how tonight goes. If they lose I guess we're all Tennessee Titans fans tonight because we want that game to be more meaningful. We don't want the backups in there.
We have two. We could have both 1 seeds essentially having a double bye, really. Mm-hmm. Where Kansas City has nothing to play for and Green Bay may have nothing to play for either. So essentially you can ease your way into the bye week, take the bye week, and then wait for someone to come play you. And you're already huge advantage having the only bye week and a home game. So it's not looking good for the underdogs in the playoffs, although it's still the playoffs. Anything can happen. The night game was what?
Las Vegas Raiders and the Miami Dolphins. One of the most insane second halves you ever wanted to see. Tua Tagovailoa. Tua got benched. Rightfully so. We talked about it at halftime. Like, hey, if you want to win this game, you got to put Ryan Fitzpatrick in. And sure enough, his first throw was like, okay, well, maybe he doesn't have it. And then from then on, it was just bang, 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 high risk throws, high leverage throws in the right spot to the right guy on the right timing. And it got to the point where it was automatic that they were moving the ball, but the Miami defense let them down. There was some sloppy penalties, I thought, there at the end. Byron Jones, obviously, with the huge DPI that put the Raiders in position to score what would have been the game-winning touchdown, but instead they decided to kneel and kick the field goal, but they left too much time on the clock for Mr. Ryan Fitzpatrick, who came out and did what he does best. He magic touch.
His head sideways,
with his head sideways. Yes, it was like something was guiding that ball. That was absolutely insane to see it live.
It was a Christmas miracle.
Christmas miracle for the Dolphins, and a Christmas heartbreak, I thought, for our Ravens futures, our Ravens fans out there. Like, how did this happen? Like, this was a loss. This was an L. The Dolphins just took an L, but not to be. But that's okay because good things happened this morning. What did CeeDee Lamb do? Something good, please, Brett. This touchdown, Dallas. Oh, dude, CeeDee Lamb with another garbage time touchdown, second day in a row. Andy, Merry Christmas. That was a good one. That was
the right call. That one would have felt bad. That one would have.
Hey, you know what? Let me just take this moment to reflect on the fact that it has been an extremely lucky week for me. Extremely lucky. I was a bounce or two away from just a bedlam blood on the streets, send everyone home, call it a season. Like, wow, it was almost a very, very bad week. But I have gotten extremely lucky, notably hitting that over in the, it was crazy that Miami Vegas, I had 47. It closed 51 and a half or something crazy.
I got a 46 and a half on that.
46 and a half.
I should have
won. And sure enough, it took some second half miraculous Ryan Fitzmagic to get it there. I don't know what Miami does with Tua now. Do you start him week 17 against Buffalo? No, you have to go Magic, right? They're starting Tua?
Yeah, he came right after the game. Right after the game. Are you serious? Yep.
I haven't done any reading on this yet. Are you serious? They're going to start Tua?
Yeah, they start. He said it's like the Joe Madden thing, the opener in Tampa. You have an opener.
Do you agree with us? Or are you as incredulous as I am? I'm shocked that they're going to do this.
I don't know. It's whatever. It makes a team prepare for two quarterbacks, which is an advantage for you. But they'll start to.
I don't know, man.
And they'll bring him in.
The Buffalo Bills could score points. You are not beating them with your defense. Sorry to break the news to you, Miami.
I would think it'd be a short leash. Like they're fine bringing in the closer. It'll be interesting.
I'm shocked by this. Short leash with you have to win and to get into the playoffs because a loss, you're out. There's no way that the Colts are losing to the Jacksonville Jaguars.
I know, but I don't want to spend all day on this because we can
not happening twice.
Let's get into this Wednesday, but I have some thoughts on like the long term, the long term ramifications compared to let's get in as a 7 seed when we have the Chiefs and the Ravens and all these other teams in here. Like, it's really like, we made the playoffs, good for us, but we made the playoffs and we still don't know where we stand with our quarterback. So,
I don't think you pass up on an opportunity to get your boys some playoff reps. Get Brian Flores a playoff preparation week.
Let's get into this Wednesday. Let's
man, dude.
We gotta get to this. We haven't even got to the Sunday games hardly.
Oh my goodness. Well, I hope. I guess they're cheering for the Buffalo Bills with me tomorrow night against the Patriots to just do their business and lock their seed in. Let's talk about today's games. Let's go down.
Oh, that was like right after the game. It was people were mad right away. I'm like, I don't know.
If you think that I was in any way, shape, or form in reading, like I could read last night after that game was over, no. I was not reading quotes last night, and this morning I slept through all the Sunday morning shows, so I didn't see.
What's our first? Is it Cleveland Jets low man on the rotation number?
Yes, 16-23. The New York Jets are winners. Amazing. Cleveland goes into. We talked about this being kind of the prototypical shit sandwich. My God, was this a shit sandwich? Not only did your players get loose, get COVID, all of the wide receiving room, tight end room, maybe
and a starting linebacker,
and their starting linebacker. Yeah, they lose all of these guys a week before you play the Jets. You go out there and you play that poorly against the Jets. I thought they were going to come back and win, honestly. Like, as badly as they played for 3/4 of that game, it seemed like they were still going to come back and get a win somehow. But no, it was not to be. The
Baker didn't even throw a pick, man. That's how bad.
No, he didn't throw well though.
He didn't throw well.
Running game was really ineffectual. He had a couple of bad fumbles. He wasn't feeling the pocket well. The offensive line didn't play their characteristic strength. Maybe the loss of Jedrick Wills mattered a little bit more than I realized it was going to.
Yeah, that was also tough.
The Jets had a ton of pressure. They got pressure all day. No Quinnen Williams, no problem. Everybody else on that defense stepped up. They get another win. New York Jets get another win. You're probably talking about Sam Darnold now with seriousness. If you're that organization, like, do we take a quarterback? You were talking about this on the pod on Wednesday. I don't know that I have the answer yet, but certainly Sam Darnold gave himself one more year closer to coming back. Cincinnati and Houston and Cleveland, by the way, loses. And where are they in the playoff picture now? Are they the odd man out or the Colts?
The Colts are still odd man out right now. Colts
the Browns beat the deuce out of the Colts head to head.
Yeah, when they were missing Darius Leonard and like one more piece on the line, maybe, right. And Cleveland just scorched him across the middle. So Cleveland is in right now, but there is again. Tennessee is yet to play. Let's just assume things chalk out. Let's say Green Bay wins the game. Doesn't matter if they cover or not. Tennessee, Miami, Baltimore, Cleveland, and Indianapolis will all be 10-5 heading into Week 17.
Unreal. Unbelievable.
Which would be something. And then everyone else, obviously, Vegas's path was Baltimore losing twice, which wasn't going to happen. So they did get eliminated last night or yesterday. So there's the only team on the outside looking in is Indianapolis that can reach in the in the AFC. Obviously, the NFC is a whole different beast with the NFC East. So, yeah, that's Cleveland is in right now, and they should be able to get it done. I think.
Yeah. How crazy. So the Colts play the Jaguars this week. Imagine losing to the Jaguars week 1, and that's keeping you out of the playoffs right now if you're Indianapolis. Wow. Wow. Boy, I bet you would like to have that one back, Frank Reich. I bet you'd like to have that one back, Phil Rivers. Yeah. We'll get to that game in a second, and we'll talk a little bit more broadly about the witching hour and the AFC playoff picture because the Indianapolis-Pittsburgh game was so wild. It's worth noting, passing by Cincinnati and Houston, and our buddy Patrick is exactly correct. There was zero effort on defense in that one. Houston not looking like they're going to have Deshaun Watson next week. He got a late hand injury in that. Did you catch that? It didn't look good to me. It looked like they probably put him on ice for the season. Would you agree?
I would like that. That's not something you want to risk.
Probably not going to see a line until we know one way or the other.
Yeah, that's your best piece. That's the thing. There's going to be a lot of padlocks on the lines this week as we get into next week because we have, Kansas City play starters. Pittsburgh play starters. What's going to happen with this? We have the Green Bay game. We have the Buffalo game yet. There's a lot of goofiness. So there might not be a lot to look at for lines. But yeah, that game I wasn't involved. It kept popping up on Red Zone. But
yeah, I know. That did take up way too much of my Red Zone experience during the witching hour. I was a little disappointed.
Like anybody who bet on that got they deserved, I guess, unless you just took the over. I know some people that had second half over that cashed in the third quarter.
I think Cincinnati's probably going to be regretting winning these games late and taking themselves out of the Penny Sewell sweepstakes.
Yeah, they can't.
I mean, we're realistically talking right now. If the Jets can't make a deal for the 2 seed, it's going to be they're probably taking Penny Sewell and sticking with Darnold for another year.
Yeah, I would.
What do you think?
So. No, that's what I would do. I wouldn't even try to trade. I mean, you entertain trades certainly. You don't.
Oh yeah. Somebody might give you the bank for that pick. I don't know if there's a second quarterback prospect who is as coveted though to warrant trading up. Would you? I mean, we'll find out, I guess, in the process. So we're way ahead of ourselves here. Cincinnati winning games though does not help their cause. Brandon Allen starting was a surprise. I thought Finley did enough last week to earn that job, but I guess they went back to Allen without really thinking twice. That's fine. Houston, Cincinnati are both Week 17 fades, as far as I can tell you. Defense not showing up in either of those games, likely. Indianapolis, Pittsburgh. Will you give me some reflections of how that went for you? Because I know you were involved as a Pittsburgh teaser leg.
Pittsburgh plus 7.5. So not only I got the nice number before the Pittsburgh steam came in, Indy losing both tackles, not great, especially, Pittsburgh soft up the middle. We've seen that 2 weeks in a row, especially against the run, but they still have nice edge rushers. That's going to be an issue for someone like Rivers. And that was the only way they scored in the first half, essentially a defensive touchdown. And Watt getting the fumble recovery, setting them up with a uber short field. So this was 21-7 at half. My other leg was the Bears, which was easy. I had written a teaser leg off. I'm trying to think if Indy got the field goal first.
It was 24-3.
24-7 at one point. And then
sorry.
The last 21 points for Pittsburgh. They got the stops when they needed to. They got somehow got the offense back together. They were doing the thing where they were just hitting the 10-yard, 10, 11, 10, 11, just down the field. Nothing crazy. A couple of nicer long ones and whatever. I'm glad they covered the leg. I had a Pittsburgh doing the division bet, which was looking so good for 11 weeks, and then it was the ultimate. And can't believe I had to sweat it. Cannot believe I had to sweat it. And then I remember they're down 24-7, but the Jets were up 20-3. I said, fuck it. Don't care. Let the Jets win this. I'll let the Jets win this bet for me because a Cleveland loss also would have given them the division. So
sure.
I guess it was nice to get both, but that's nice. It'll be nice to have that bet cash. I'm not sure when they'll cash that. If they do that right away, I should check that balance. It was, nice comeback and maybe a little something to look forward to in the playoffs. If the offense can get clicking and these receivers aren't dropping it, they still have 5 good receiving options and a half decent cavalcade of what's left of the defense. This game did this game go over? Yeah, of course it went over. It hit 52.
So you were probably wearing your black and gold glasses, but did you think that was fairly refed down the stretch? There was a couple of pretty advantageous calls in favor of Pittsburgh to keep some of those drives alive when they were way down. Did you think that the refs kind of gave them a fair shake?
I never even really grade the refs, Drew. You know me.
Okay. Especially when you win.
It's so random.
There was a massive makeup call on the last drive for the Colts. That's why I brought it up. It's because they were basically like, it felt like it was lopsided one way for a lot of that comeback, and then the refs were like, "Oh shit, we got to help." At least give the Colts one makeup call here.
There was some weird defensive pass interferences in a couple games today, but
yeah. Okay.
Questionable. The roughing the passer on Baker Mayfield earlier. Just like I guess letter of the law, but seriously, like common sense on some of this stuff.
Sure. Okay.
My other teaser leg, Jacksonville got the shit kicked out of him again. That's becoming a theme.
I was just, before moving on real quick, again, wearing your black and gold glasses, you just said Pittsburgh might make some noise in the playoffs now that this offense is kind of clicking. Who's your dream matchup as you being a Steelers fan? Who do you want to play in round one? Tua, obviously.
Cleveland or Miami? Like that.
You want a debutant.
Cleveland defense would be somebody you could beat up on. Buffalo defense is somebody you could move on, but I don't think you're stopping the Buffalo offense. That's not a fun matchup.
Okay, so you kind of walked into a trap here. I was hoping you would say Cleveland because you're playing Cleveland week 17.
I know. It's a weird deal.
Do you have the ability to beat them this week and keep them out entirely? Is that how that goes? Or can you let them win? You end up in the 3 seed and then they get in and they're the 6 and you play them again? Is that how this is going to go?
I don't even know, man. There's so many scenarios. Remember? Do you remember when I listed those 5 teams that were 10 and 5? None of those teams have clinched a division spot or a
playoff berth. Yeah.
Not only can any
drama is incredible,
and I believe there's even a scenario where Tennessee could still be the 3 seed. If they could pass Buffalo somehow, if Buffalo loses, like that's not going to happen. But Tennessee could win the division tonight, or Tennessee could lose 2 games in a row and be eliminated. Miami losing next week could be eliminated. Baltimore losing against Cincinnati, which I guess other teams have lost, could be eliminated. Every one of these teams, Tennessee, Miami, Baltimore, Cleveland, and Indianapolis, could be in the playoffs or could be out. Like none of those have clinched. So the clinching scenarios are wild right now. I don't have time to get through because I haven't got through it all. But yeah, like if Pittsburgh decides to play and beats Cleveland, they can keep them out, which is wild considering that was the big story, the turnaround. Oh man, believe land.
I'm going to do a little math tomorrow and figure out what the percentage of possibility of the Colts getting in is and look for like a yes/no prop on them to make the playoffs. I feel like somebody's going to screw off, right? Don't you think somebody's going to screw up here out of Miami, Cleveland?
Well, so yeah, someone will screw up, and we'll have to. We'll buy Indy and Calcutta.
Yeah. Okay. All right. That's an interesting point. Okay. The
Bears beat the shit out of
Jaguars.
Yep.
They were frisky for a hot second, and then they were frisky for a hot second, and then Roquan Smith stole a guy's soul late in the first half. And was it completely one-way traffic all second half? It was only Bears points. I guess there was a very late touchdown by Jacksonville, but yeah, easy. The Bears are all of a sudden a dead nut over team, by the way.
Yeah. Well, you play, and again, I should be screenshotting my DMs when I say something smart 3 weeks ago. Someone said like, man, we didn't get our 5th-year option, and now we're going to have to pay this guy. I said, go look at the schedule. You're about to play, like Minnesota. What was the third team? Minnesota, Jacksonville, and maybe the Lions. Like you're going to play a bunch of bad defenses. Mitch is going to look so good 3 weeks in a row. The media is going to run with it, and Pace is going to extend him. And it's
Lions,
going to be 5.
Texans, Vikings, Jaguars.
Yeah, it's going to be 5 more years of bad Bears teams. Like, enjoy that. That's what you get. Like, this is going to be in a very expensive stretch of games for the Bears. So that's where we're at. And
so is it safe to say long term with the Bears quotes pregame and then that performance, that ass kicking post game, this is now Mitch Trubisky, Matt Nagy, and Ryan Pace running it back one more year?
I would think so.
Do you think they just give Mitch a year? Do they franchise him?
But then you can't tag Robinson.
Oh,
So it's tricky. Like, I don't know what they're going to do. Whatever they're going to do is the wrong answer. Like, that's.
Do you think they're going to sign him for a multi-year or not put him on a prove-it contract? They're going to put him on a prove-it contract.
I would think like a two with. I don't know. I'm not good at contracts, man.
Okay, yeah, they're gonna end up going down the road that the Raiders went with Derek Carr, where they're like, well, he's our guy, I guess, and they signed him for a long time for a lot of money, and it's been just a super pain in the ass to try to get out from under it. So they've just kept starting him now.
They're in the playoffs as it stands, and they I believe the tiebreaker they hold over Arizona is common games, and the common games is like a 3-game lead in common game. Like it's something that cannot be overcome in one game. So Chicago controls their destiny. Arizona now needs help to get in the NFC. Everybody else is eliminated outside of the NFC East teams. Philly was eliminated today because they're like 4-10-1 now. It's they're
officially out.
Okay. Where were we head next?
Carolina, Washington. Oh, actually, let's start Denver Chargers. Get that one out of the way. Didn't watch much of it either. Chargers feel like they underwhelmed dramatically, getting only 19 points in this one. They left a lot of goal line opportunities, turned into field goals. Happy not to have had any side in this, although there was some very, very strong Denver money that came in at +3.5. That was obviously rewarded. Anyone that chased that steam and played 2.5 loses. So sorry about that. That's why you get a good number, right? Carolina and Washington was also a weird one. This opened up with Washington as a favorite, and then it disappeared for a while there was a lot of speculation. We knew it was going to be Haskins. It turns out Haskins plays a lot better when he's a captain. He played a lot better last week as a captain, at least.
Lost his captaincy.
Awful in this game. He keeps Jared Goff out of the worst performances of the weekend just because he was that bad. The Washington football team still manages to stay within 7 points, but Teddy covers, and
Teddy covers
sort of a thing here. Ron Rivera doesn't get his revenge. Somehow Washington is still in control of their own destiny in the NFC.
Not only alive, but if they win the game, they're just in. So it's
can they get in without winning the game?
I think if they lose, the winner of if they lose, the winner of the Giants Dallas game is the division champion. So, and I think both games are essentially right around a pick. So it'll be very interesting.
So they're going to put the Washington and Philly game in primetime then.
God, don't do that.
That's the only one that's win and you're in, right? Losing.
Don't say horrible things like that. Yeah, I guess it is. So yeah, Washington, Philly, Rams, Seattle. No need to talk about Goff.
Wow.
Play calling in the red zone though too. My McVay, and my bet was on McVay, so that kind of hurts me at a personal level. That McVay's play calling in the red zone was so bad. Goff wasn't good. When you get bad Goff, you get bad road Goff, you're just not going to win games. I got a plus number on him. I'm still happy I took it. I'm still fine that I took it. I'm not happy that I took it now that it lost. But typical Seattle wins the division. That clinches that.
Amazing. Brett brings up if Green Bay loses tonight, I'd assume Green Bay, Chicago primetime. I don't think they're going to, because you have a possibility of the Cardinals lose to the Rams, and then it's not win or you're in for Chicago. They've already clinched, right?
Yeah, that could be.
So they're not going to put that and have the potential of that being a dead game where both teams are in and neither team is playing for anything. I think
the second half. What's the second half play?
For which game?
I don't know.
For that game? Yeah. Okay. Well, let's keep moving down. We got. We're out of order, but Giants Baltimore was a morning game. Baltimore continues to be a truck. I guess this was a final score of 27-13. What should the final score have been? Did you? They
Yeah, I mean,
they were playing with their food
garbage
after a
time.
while. Yeah, they were playing with their food after a while.
And this was, I think Baltimore is a good team, but I think they might end up being a little overrated as they go down the stretch and play the Jaguars, Giants, and Bengals. So if they beat the tar out of 3 bad teams 3 weeks in a row, they might be a little overpriced in the playoffs. I'm not saying fade them straight up, but if they're a favorite against someone, I don't think they should be that big of a favorite. They might be a bet against team because they're beating up on really bad teams right now. They look good though. I mean, you have to get it done, and the Giants defense has been frisky this year. So nice win, home win against a bad team. Stayed under the total, but not by much. And they did get the cover, even though Giants hit the back door. We bet on Atlanta. That was a good win. That was never.
That was awesome.
Inside the number the entire time. Probably should have won the game, or at least taken it to OT.
Yeah, I guess we've gotten to the point where Kansas City is who they're telling us they are, right? I mean, they didn't use the good plays today. They called one absolute dog shit trick play in the red zone at one point. It was awful. They were a little sharper in the red zone. Travis Kelce is still very tough to cover, but they telegraphed a couple plays. Patty threw a bad red zone pick. He should have thrown a second red zone pick that would have iced the game win for Atlanta. You saw that where AJ Terrell went up and the ball popped out when he landed on the ground. It should have been Atlanta Falcons W. At a minimum, it should have been overtime because they get down inside the 10 and Young Ho Koo misses a chip shot. That was crazy. Happy that we got the cover, though. We got the cover on that. And I guess would the Chiefs have been better served long term if they had taken a loss here? If they had taken it on the chin and just taken a loss and snapped themselves out of this funk? Like, are they're still like itching to drop one here?
I don't know about all that. I don't know if you would think playing that way would feel the same. Like, isn't it the same thing having a game end up like that, where you should have been in overtime, you should have probably lost the game? Isn't that close enough to a wake up call? I guess in my mind it probably is, but I don't think it's ever good to lose, especially since you were able to clinch the division, get your head right, and play into the double bye essentially. Now that they don't have to play next week for any, all intents and purposes. They don't have to play next week. They can rest. They can play the first half, treat it like game 3 of the preseason, play the starters part of the first half. Whatever they want to do. It'll be interesting. And I mean, you're starting to see that. I'm looking at the Bet Online openers right now. Like Cleveland's over a touchdown favorite at Pittsburgh because of the assumption that Pittsburgh hasn't had a bye in 3 months. And they might just say, what's the difference between 2 and 3?
Sure. Well, because what is the difference? You're not even picking your opponent, probably. You may be picking the Browns. You're letting the Browns in the door. Okay, so that's all fair breakdown. Kansas City, if your only futures ticket that's alive at this point is Kansas City, are you nervous, even though you have a ton of equity in that position? Because you're now going to be a 2-week bye. You haven't covered since Halloween or before Halloween. You aren't really playing your best. Your defense is a little leaky at times. Are you going to be able to flip the switch divisional round of the playoffs, playing a team that's just, punched their ticket, played their way in under very difficult circumstances? Somebody sharp like the Ravens, even the Browns, the Titans. Are you at risk of getting punched in the mouth in that spot and having a flat game, or do you think I'm overreacting here?
It probably halfway in between. Like, they're not as sharp as they were in previous years, but you never know. It could be just, oh shit, like they were just hiding the good plays and now they're really good again. Like this sucks. Like this game, it could be like, oh, this is a really bad game. They just beat the ever living shit out of the Cleveland Browns. That was embarrassing. It could end up like that. So
okay.
And to your question, like, are you nervous? Yeah. I never get nervous, I guess, about futures or bets.
Or are you looking across the board and thinking, I'm going to start trying to pick off some of these other parts?
That's what I was saying. You don't get nervous, get proactive. I sound like I'm selling acne medication, but getting nervous doesn't.
We only
do
have
any
one
good.
new sponsorship to offer, and it's the WynnBET.
Yeah.
Download
Getting
the WynnBET app.
getting nervous doesn't do anything. You can't go out there and play the games for them. You just have to look if there's a way to buy your way out if you are thinking that your bet is no longer good. So it's funny. I looked at lines, and one book has almost all of them up, and one book has none.
At the right price. Are you going to get a fair price to back Kansas City in any of their playoff games, you think? Or are they going to still be this inflated auto fade?
It's the live. It's bet against them and then bet on them live if you get a chance, kind of thing. Like, okay. I guess the best price I saw on them today was -4.5. That wouldn't have been a winner. I didn't take that. No.
All right. I'm probably not going to fade them again week 17 because who the hell knows what you're going to get out of the backup quarterback.
And it's like last year when they're down 24-0. Like, oh shit, here come the good plays.
Yeah.
How many
times did you think that switch was going to be flipped today though? Like a bunch, right? You were like,
I was hoping not.
All right, second half could be blowout city here, but they never flipped the switch, man.
I was hoping they wouldn't. I didn't want to lose by 14. That was in the car. If they flipped the switch, so
would have been bad. Okay.
We bet on the Falcons against the Chiefs and got away with it. So
almost got a win. Should have got.
Like I just remember, I should go clip that from when I placed that bet last Sunday. I'm like, God damn it! I make this like 9. I'm gonna have to bet this, aren't I? And never doubt. Some of these stinky ones, never in doubt. Does that leave us just with Dallas, Philly? Dallas, Philly, we talked about.
Rams, Seattle, and Dallas, Philly. Philadelphia's eliminated. Hurts didn't play very well after taking a very solid lead in this game. What did you think?
Everybody on Twitter bet on Philly to win the division at like 6-1 today. I think if you believe in the Twitter mush, I guess that's what happened. I just caught like wind of that. I didn't catch it early when everyone was doing it, but those tickets are dead. I did recommend to somebody to bet on Dallas to win the division the other day.
Oh yes, we did. Hopefully it was my buddy. Yeah. Julian got it.
Well, not only
we were talking about getting Dallas at like 14 or 15-1, right?
Somebody found Dallas at 14-1. I said, if you take the prices on those 4 games that have to happen, like it comes up to 8-1 in a parlay. Like 14-1 is a brutal price for the book. So now you have Dallas and Philly in a parlay to next Sunday at 14-1. You can,
and that's probably an even money parlay. That's probably an even money parlay. Right.
Yeah. So that was a good play if you could find that last week. But Philly's dead. Dallas. I mean, Andy Dalton's won some divisions before. He's been to the playoffs, guys. He has some receivers. If he's playing a bad defense, they can get it done. The play calling from Doug was ugly at times. Hurts is a good player.
He didn't have his fastball today. He had looked kind of inspired and excited to call plays with Hurts the last couple of weeks. I didn't see that from Dougie P today. He was flat. The whole team looked flat, and the cluster injury at cornerback was a massive problem. They did not have any bodies to cover the likes of CD Lamb or Gallup was great today. He made some plays. Cooper looked a little checked out still. He's not a guy that you can expect to step up in a big game for whatever reason. But Andy Dalton has led this team. Do you think some team is going to talk themselves into Andy Dalton this offseason?
Fuck, it might be Dallas.
Maybe Dallas. No, really?
No, but somebody certainly will. I mean, people have been buying Fitzpatrick for a decade. They're going to buy Andy Dalton.
You know what is interesting? We pointed out on the podcast that the offensive line had been playing up and gave Joe Philbin a little dap. And they played well today. There was only a couple of big plays on part of the Philly defense really today. I think we have to tip our hat a little to the Dallas defense. Holding Philadelphia to 17 points was not what I expected here. In fact, if you had shown me half of the score and it was Dallas 37 and Philly ? I don't know if I would have assumed for sure that Philly had lost because I thought they could have possibly gotten into the 40s here.
I like question mark.
I guess hats off to the Dallas defense for playing up. Did you think it was there? Was this more on Philadelphia screwing up and having a bad game plan?
Philadelphia's play calling was kind of brutal at certain points, and Hurts took some sacks that reminiscent of Wentz. So like an homage to his mentor, Carson Wentz.
I think my
offense was big.
Yeah. Real quick, my criticism of Cooper had to do with his intensity in red zone, goal to go situations. We should have had that over a long time before we actually had it.
Yeah. True, 120 yards. I know
he had volume, good job volume, but he did not fight in the red zone and they looked for him a couple of times, and I didn't see the fight that you need if you're getting paid like he's getting paid as a wide receiver. All that said, they're still a dangerous ass team. And what's that line against the Giants? Is that up?
Well, I was going to say let's run down some lines. I've got bookmaker has.
Sorry, we got one more thing. We got to throw some dirt on the Rams play. The Rams were awful. The over was never close. The team total was. I want to make some excuses here. I mean, the Rams had 5 red zone possessions and got 3 field goals out of it. Like, if we're trying to get 23 points here, I think it was in reach if you have a little bit of red zone efficiency. Seattle's defense, I was very critical of them. Like, oh, great, you beat a bunch of terrible offenses, and now you've got it figured out. Well, let's see how you do against the league average offense. The problem is the Rams' offense is not league average. It's bad. It's bad. They don't have an identity. They're not getting anything above replacement level out of Jared Goff. If they're not breaking, if their wide receivers aren't making athletic plays, getting yards after the catch, they just don't move the ball consistently enough. And a lot of it is on Jared Goff. He's not playing well. This Rams team looks bad. They need a get right game against Arizona in the worst possible way. The thing is, Arizona is playing for their lives too. Are the Rams clinched? Are the Rams for sure clinched?
No, the Rams could be out too, I think. I'm not sure that they're in, or did Arizona put them in? The Rams have not clinched anything. The Rams,
they were 9-6.
We could have Arizona and Chicago in. Woof. No, they could be 9-6.
You know what the bigger wolf is?
Right? Yeah, they're.
You know what the bigger wolf is? The bigger wolf is we're gonna get Rams Seahawks as the 3-6. I don't really want to watch that game again. Today's game exactly in Seattle will be the repeat of the wild card game, except they're probably going to put it in prime time or something terrible. Not good.
Not great, Bob.
Not good. That was not a good playoff. What's the right word? Dress rehearsal for the Rams. That was your dress rehearsal, and you fell on your face. And Jared Goff looked awful against a base defense. So congratulations. You are in deep, deep, deep trouble. Even that, because the Rams defense played great, I thought. They were playing up for a lot of that game. Didn't you agree? Like Jalen Ramsey made some plays, that Floyd made plays. Donald was a monster still.
That's what kept him in it.
Yeah.
All right. We got like 13 minutes before we tip for the Green Bay game, and I want to watch that. So let's run through some lines.
Yeah,
tomorrow night. I don't have a strong opinion on tomorrow night.
The Rams would be eliminated with Cardinals and Bears wins.
Yep, they could. It'd be a 3-way tie, and it would put them out. So Washington traveling to Philly with a clinching scenario. All the win and you're in. 1.5 point dogs to Philly.
Oh my God!
I don't know what to do with that with the injuries. Like not only injuries for Washington, watching McLaurin, watching the quarterback situation. They benched the backup. We don't know what Alex Smith, but also Philly D-line injuries, cornerback injuries. There was multiple problems there, so I'm not touching that one. I have no totals up right now, which bothers me. I might have to do like an emergency totals tweet tomorrow when some stuff comes up, or tonight. I don't know. Opinion on that? I'm not touching it.
There's only the one day of games, right? Sunday the 5th?
Yes, Sunday the 3rd.
The 3rd, excuse me. Sunday the 3rd. The 3rd?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm in the wrong month. Sorry. Sunday the 3rd. We don't know what the nightcap is going to be yet. They haven't announced it, I guess.
It does
there's
not
times for some of the games, but there's no prime time call.
Yeah, they're calling 3 of the games 3:00 games, or 4 on the East Coast. So Colts over the Jags, 14-point home favorites.
Yikes.
Not touching that.
I don't mind. I wouldn't be crazy laying it with the Colts. They're going to
They
win
have
40. This is going to be what do you call it? Bucks Lions rerun.
Could be.
And the Colts obviously can run the ball well.
Colts money line.
Jacksonville can't stop the run to save their lives. Yeah, I don't know. Have any thoughts on this Titans game?
Should we pop back to this? Any thoughts on the snow? Green Bay cannot stop the run. Tennessee has a good running back. I'm not excited about just hopping on an under because there's some snow. I don't think the wind is too crazy, like 10, 15 mile an hour. That hasn't stopped Rodgers in the past. So the total's in the 50s for a reason, and it has
going to be a lot of running, and I don't think either team can stop the run especially well. Yeah, so this still should be a pretty fun game.
Yeah, we should still see some points. So I'm not getting in the way of that train and jumping on the under with some people in that one.
I don't hate if you want to play the under though, you're not going to have a better opportunity. I mean,
well, earlier in the week when the number was better.
Yeah, that's true. I guess that's true. That's true.
All right. Packers Bears line is up if you want to bet that now. I'm guessing that's going to come down here in 10 minutes.
Bet Chicago at plus. Should we bet Chicago at +5?
You get +5. I'm gonna have to refresh. I get +4.
Oh, really? Where you? Well, don't we only shop at WynnBET? Excuse me, right?
I don't live in New Jersey. I'm gonna have to talk them into getting into Iowa here soon. Iowa has moved to mobile signups only, so that is a big boon for them, and hopefully they're getting some more operators down there. They already have some operators, but hopefully they add more because competition drives better pricing.
Yeah, I think thinking a little harder about tonight's game and looking at the conditions, I think probably you want a live over. Like let the first couple drives kind of play out. There'll be some timing issues. There'll be some the defense will probably make a couple stops. It might be punt. You could probably get a better number. You can get a better number than the current to get a live over. Okay. I think we should take Chicago now. I think this is going to open a pick after tonight's game.
Yeah, I believe Green Bay wins this game. So you're going to get Chicago playing for something, Green Bay playing for nothing.
Yeah. 100%.
I don't hate that.
What do you make of Mitch Trubisky's ability to score on this Green Bay offense? Like he's going to be able, he scored
He'll
last
be able
time.
to run. Mitch will run. Mitch will roll out. Mitch will move around. They're doing that a lot, especially if they're not playing against some starters. It should go well for him again. It turns into another game where he looks good. God, both these NFC East games are just tight. It is Cowboys -1 on the road.
Wow, really? I kind of want the Cowboys pretty badly in that spot. What am I missing? Why is this -1? What the hell? Does that make any sense to you?
Maybe the Giants are getting healthy. They were missing some pieces today.
No.
What is it? Are they getting their receiver back?
I honestly don't know.
So Green Bay game does matter next week because of Seahawks win today.
Seahawks are 11-4. You could have a 3-way tie with Packers, Saints, Seahawks if Packers lose tonight. So
yeah, the Packers would have to lose in that scenario. The Packers would be 12-3. Have Packers and Green Bay played?
No,
I didn't think so. I have no idea.
Seahawks have not played, but a 3-way tie takes the head-to-head win the Packers have over the Saints out of it,
and it moves to a different tiebreaker. God, should we even bet next week? There's so much fuckery with tiebreakers. I agree with that. I'm probably betting the Cowboys a week late.
+1? -1? Excuse me, -1?
-1. I'm going to bet smaller on some of these, but I'm going to bet Cowboys. I'm probably just going to bet Bears anyway. Browns -7 over the Steelers.
Yeah, I don't have any problem taking a piece of Cowboys -1 right now. I'm in there. Is in. I'm in on
in
that.
there like
add that to a banner.
Packers would lose a 3-way tie. Tonight doesn't matter for Packers. I bet they try. I'm glad I didn't bet tonight then. I'm glad I'm not involved. I'll probably be involved in the second half. I'm not betting the Browns-Pittsburgh game. We don't know what's going to happen. There's this assumption, there's this groundswell that the Pittsburgh Steelers don't, maybe would want to try to do some resting because they haven't gotten any rest and they're worn out. They've got
their defense is very worn out.
So there might be a case where they're fine letting Cleveland win. God, I hate that in the division to say that Tomlin would do that, but you got to look big picture at the playoffs and get these guys a blow. So I don't know. I'm staying hard away from that.
Okay. How about move down to the one that I really want to talk the most about?
Titans over the Texans without Deshaun. Probably if they lose this game, it's must win. They would be eliminated if they go 0-2. So lots to lay on the road. I wonder what my numbers make of that one. And granted, my numbers are
with Deshaun
probably
Watson
almost useless in this week. Tennessee, Houston. I mean, if all things considered, if I do it without taking Watson out, I still make Tennessee 5-point favorites on the road.
So once Watson's announced out, it will be 14 points. What do you think?
I don't know about that. 12.5,
10?
13. I'd say it'll go past 10 and shoot towards 13. So
okay,
betting that.
I played it.
Titans.
Did you play it?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I don't think he plays. I don't think there's a reason for him to play. A lot of road favorites again. Saints over the Panthers. Saints again. The tie stuff is going to get funny. I don't know where Drew went. We'll have to see if he comes back. That was weird. I guess I'm running solo here until he pops back into the meeting. Maybe the internet and or power went out in sunny California. Where was I? Saints -4. Again, thank you to the chat for letting us know about these tiebreakers. I don't know where the Saints really stand in that then. I'm trying to look at the NFC playoff picture right now. The Saints are 11-4. If Green Bay wins tonight and against the Bears, it takes the Saints out. I'm not sure if the Saints would have a little less to play for if the Packers win tonight, but they could still tie the Packers if the Bears get it done. So who knows? Don't want to bet that one. And also the Saints, it'll be interesting to see what they do with the, injured receiver, probably still injured quarterback if they're resting some people. Jets, Patriots. Remember we were going to bet the Jets and this is going to be their one win for the year? Now we could bet them to have a 3-game winning streak.
That's hysterical. You're right. +5. I want no part of this game. Skip.
No.
Vikings at -6 against the Lions. Matt Stafford probably doesn't go. Is it going to be Chase Daniel or David Blau? And does it matter?
Bleh.
David Blau.
I'm going to bet this over when it comes out.
Okay, let's keep moving then. What do you think? What number do you think you're going to get? 53?
54, probably.
Same as last week against Tampa Bay. You think the Vikings score 47?
They might need to. They have a much worse defense than Tampa Bay.
Detroit is an underdarling, man.
I know. Well, maybe they'll come in at like 51. I'll get a good number. I'm going to have to look at it and see who's healthy.
Okay.
It sucks. Like Galladay probably done for the year again. Like he's just not going to play now. Like that sucks. He's such a dynamic playmaker. Speaking of Tampa Bay's defense, 5-point favorites at home hosting the Falcons, a team they got down to 17-point differential.
Yeah.
Early last week, and then came back, won the game. This time they're hosting. Something to play for a little bit, I suppose, with seeding. Again, they're 10-5. I don't know if they can pass Seattle, man. They can't. No, Seattle's a division winner. The 5, they're locked into the 5, aren't they? The Rams can't pass them. Like Rams. Tampa may not have anything to play for.
No, they're locked.
They don't. In fact, they do not have.
They have secured the 5. They have secured perhaps the best possible road path for them, which is a road game against the Dallas Cowboys. What do you make that, by the way? What do you make Dallas, Tampa Bay wildcard?
Should I run that quick?
Yeah, tell me.
All right. Let's go. So it would be in Tampa.
No, it would be in Dallas.
Okay. It's funny how that works.
So give Dallas 0 points of home field advantage.
I would make Tampa 9.5.
What? No, come on.
I think.
No. What kind of number, really?
I'll probably just a shade over a 7.
Okay.
Like I'd open at 7 juicy if I'm booking this.
I'm excited about that game potentially.
Yeah, that could be a good one.
It's gonna be prime time, so Tom Brady's gonna lose.
Do we think we should bet Atlanta again? If Tampa has nothing to play for, Atlanta doesn't have anything to play for either. But playing for pride, I don't know about all that. Yeah, I'm not super excited about that. Baltimore, Cincy, Baltimore, a huge favorite, probably covered again. No interest there. Road favorite, 12 points. They kind of have been a truck against bad teams. Maybe a teaser leg if that comes down a touch. If I can get it across the 6. If that's 11.5 somewhere, I might be teasing that next week. An 11.5 point road favorite tease. Yuck. Buffalo, Miami. Teams actually have something to play for. That's a good one.
Goff may have a fractured thumb. Interesting. So there's no way that's going to be your primetime game. Sorry, but maybe Cardinals plus 5.5 is a grab right now.
Yep, I'm going to bet that. Should we make a banner? I don't even remember what I've all bet.
I did. Dallas, Tennessee, and now Cardinals plus 5.5. Yeah, we did not agree on Chicago. Did not pull the trigger on them. What do you think about Chicago?
That one scares me now. That with the Green Bay tiebreaker scenario, if Green Bay's trying, they might railroad them. So yeah, I will fire on Cardinals plus 5.5. I found a minus 05. I'll bet that. I'll work my way back up the board. Broncos, Raiders. No thanks.
Sorry, I'm getting a lot of spinning wheel of death tonight.
Is your internet giving you shit?
No, these books don't want to take these bets. What's the deal, guys? That's fine.
Red circled. I'm not sure where you're at. You know who would never do that? WynnBET.
I don't disagree with that one iota.
Raiders, Broncos have no interest. We'll talk about that Wednesday, I'm sure, but nothing to jump on right now. If you want to jump on the Broncos as a favorite, that's more power to you. We'll see what this quarterback situation is. Carr looked like he was still hurt, but he was still throwing the ball. But man, when he had to run around, especially in the red zone, he would just shuffle out of the pocket and throw it away. So that's not a good recipe. Locke legitimately sucks. Shouldn't be in the league. So I'm not betting that game. If I had to bet, I'd probably bet the Raiders, but I'd want to bet a money line. And Seattle Niners. Niners have been frisky last week, man.
I don't want anything to do with that one. I have no read on what kind of San Francisco performance you get. I was surprised that CJ Beathard did what he did. I'm surprised they played with George Kittle. Surprised that defense played up. I have no interest in betting a Seattle game at this point in time. I feel bad. I feel like I disrespected their defense and they took it personally, and they played amazing today. So skipping that one. Yeah, wow. Chargers are Chargers a favorite? A small favorite against Kansas City? Is this going to be one of these trivia questions? Like when is the last time Kansas City was a dog?
Yeah.
Kansas City is a dog to the Chargers, huh?
I guess they're making some assumptions there too about who will start. It would be funny if they play like the starters for the first half and get up by 28. and you have to. We were just saying, well, the Jets did this. The Jets kicked off out of bounds. I'm like, I can't remember if I've seen one of those this year where the kickoff went out of bounds. And I guess the opening kickoff went out of bounds was what I'm
Incredible. Hearing. Yeah. I think the weather is going to be an interesting factor tonight. I don't know though. All right. Can you still hear me, by the way? pulled up the.
Yeah, no, you've been fine. You just dropped off one time. Overtime, he says. That's not how that works, Matt.
Okay. So do you have an opinion on Buffalo, Miami? If Buffalo wins, Miami going to be probably a pick 'em because Buffalo's going to pull everybody. Total speculation. Staying away from that one. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't have a strong enough take on tomorrow to.
Okay. How about the last one we didn't talk about then was we didn't talk about it in depth. I guess is Philly, Washington, in the same sort of. I guess you said Philly, you're out.
So many injuries on both sides. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm surprised they're not a little bit bigger favorite, but I'm also I guess who do you think Washington starts? It's not going to be Alex Smith. I think we've seen the last of him for the season.
I wouldn't.
So it's probably going to be Dwayne Haskins again, even though he got benched. Or do you think we see what's the guy named Taylor Heineke?
Taylor Heineke.
Taylor Heineke.
Again, this is. Cannot be less excited to bet on this game.
No McLaurin probably also, you think?
If McLaurin's out, then yeah, maybe I would see if Philly's still under a 3. It's a tough D though. You get that real tough pass rush against Hurts, who knows? It's not a game I'd like to get involved with.
Okay. Well, I think we got a couple of looks at least. I think Dallas, Tennessee, and Arizona are all going to move. I think Chicago's still going to move too.
And I really wish there's some totals up because there's some totals I would definitely be attacking, and I will wait and somebody if you see totals early.
We'll go. I'm probably going to go a little late this week anyway. I don't think I'm going to put a whole bunch of bankroll out there.
I know. Rams performance away from having a nice week.
I guess. Philly, Washington is an under, right?
Yeah.
If they open that in the 48 range, 47?
45 and a half, 46, I would think is where that would be. I'd play it down to 45, I think.
New games added.
I don't know. Again, I don't know if my numbers are worth a shit in week 17 because of all the goofiness. Like I have some stuff that's off by just if I punch in Kansas City Chargers and tell you what my number is, it's going to be like, well, you should probably bet Kansas City, Andy. You're getting a very good price. A couple of these other ones, even Buffalo, Miami is quite a bit off. So staying away from a lot of stuff. And
I'm not seeing totals except for the Jags-Colts game and the Cowboys-Giants game.
It appears they're starting to populate. I'll probably
Ravens Bengals just popped total. They're being very careful here.
Packers moving right down the field.
Yeah, they look good. But it's almost like Tennessee doesn't have a very good defense.
It's kind of the
thing. Is that a thing? Their live line is up to -4.5. Okay, well, let's wrap it up for today and put this up on the interwebs. Let people watch their Sunday Night Football. Can you recap for everybody the new deal? If you missed the top of the show, we are now officially partnered with WynnBET. And you can, the New Jersey, Colorado coming soon in Michigan. And what is the sweetheart part of this arrangement for us? Well, we organized or we negotiated some free swag for you, the listeners, because that's who we cared most about when we were approached by this offer. It was like, well, we got to get the listeners something cool. And these guys, already awesome partners, have come to the table and they've bought and they're going to send you sweatshirts.
Well, I think
how does that work?
I think I might have to be the one packaging each one of these up and sealing them with a kiss. But yes, you sign up using our links. The links are in the YouTube description. If you live in New Jersey or Colorado, or if you know someone who lives in New Jersey and Colorado, make them sign up and tell them to give me the sweatshirt, or however that has to work. But please.
Christmas is come and gone. You probably did not get a
good Flag Day
sweatshirt.
President's Day present. Yeah, through the Super Bowl, maybe extending it, depends how it works out. But yes, and these supplies are not limited. I will send out 10,000 sweatshirts if I have to, if that many people sign up. So use the sign up links, deposit, make a wager, send us a screenshot that you made a bet, and I'll send you a damn sweatshirt. Just tell me where to send it. Give me a size. Also, don't tell me. Tell Deep Dive Pod or BetSpert's Twitter accounts or email, and we'll have a tweet out too that we'll retweet, so you have all this info. Otherwise, can you spray each one on?
Right now, no one on earth has one of these sweatshirts. This
No,
is
I don't even have one.
Cool merch here, and the only way that you can't go buy one. If we
Where
were,
can you buy one of these, Drew?
it's not possible.
You can't
Be
buy one.
done.
They're not on store shelves.
No, that's correct. And but we do want to get them to you guys. Just get involved with the new sponsor. Pretty exciting. Yes. Easy peasy touchdown for Devontae Adams is 7-0 Green Bay Packers. How about that?
Always him. He's always scoring first.
Let's settle in and see what Derrick Henry has in terms of an offer. I'm going to kick my feet up. I'm going to have an adult beverage, even though my liver is screaming at me. Just take the night off. It's not happening, buddy. Sorry.
There's a little bit of alcohol in kombucha.
Ooh.
That's how I'm slowly weaning myself down. All right. Thanks for hanging with us.
Right.
And
we'll talk
if
to you
you're in Colorado, New Jersey, do the right thing, man.
This is cool. I'm glad these guys arranged this. This is a very, very exciting that we have some merch to give the people.
I'm going to have to get my own sweatshirt.
Yeah, I guess I'm going to Colorado. I've always wanted to go check out the sportsbook scene there, and now that we have like an official partner, this is awesome. I'm heading out to do some skiing at Vail for New Year's, and then